Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. All right, 6 months in prison. That's what you get for stealing benefits from the VA. And that is actually a short sentence. It was a maximum of up to 10 years. So I wanted to dive into this. I actually just did a video on TDIU, Total Disability Individual Unemployability. And yes, you can earn some income. Typically, it's below the poverty level, and it's odd jobs, marginal income, if you will. Contact the VA if you're planning on earning some money on TDIU, and make sure you get it from the horse's mouth, or talk to an accredited rep and make sure that you are safe. Now, before I jump into this, I wanted to throw out a special thank you to a couple folks. One is Butterfly in the Sky 78. Thank you so much, Butterfly in the Sky 78. I appreciate your support with that super comment so very much. Thank you. And Paul Lunks 8383, you are becoming a frequent flyer, sir. Thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate you so very much. I now have your name memorized. So Paul Lunks 8383, thank you so much for your support. So with that, let's jump into this. I'm going to read you the headline here. And we'll jump into it. Sometimes the best lessons to learn are actually from somebody else instead of having to learn it yourself, right? So, Veterans Club founder Jeremy Harrell, I'm thinking, sentenced to 6 months in prison on theft of government benefits. All right, so this just came out on December 9th in the evening, and I'm sharing it with you here today. So, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. Every thumbs up and every minute watched helps to share this information. Now, look, it's kind of about Jeremy Harrell and him being sentenced and stealing government benefits, but it's also a way for us to learn, hey, don't do this because this can happen. So it's kind of a public service announcement almost. So, we don't want to be in a position of, oh, well, I wish I would have knew that I shouldn't do that. Obviously, a lot of things, it's self-explanatory, right? Don't go earn a lot of income if you're on TDIU. You're on unemployability. So we're going to read through this, share it with you. And again, like I said, I just did a video on TDIU this morning, so check it out. So you understand how that program really works. Let's jump into it. The founder of the Veterans Club was sentenced to 6 months in prison on Monday afternoon. That's Monday, December 9th, 2024. Jeremy Harrell faced a maximum of 10 years in prison. There's a quotation here. Unfortunately, this is never an outcome you prepare for, but I feel like I have been treated fairly throughout the process, Harrell said. I have to trust the judicial process. All right, so, take it, right? So let's move on. A federal jury in Frankfurt convicted Harrell on theft of government benefits in August after he received more than $100,000 in unemployment benefits that he wasn't eligible for. The Iraq War veteran had said he suffers from PTSD. He started receiving VA unemployment benefits, so TDIU, Total Disability Individual Unemployability, in 2011, and founded the nonprofit in 2019. Prosecutors argued Harrell was working 40 to 60 hours a week running the Veterans Club while receiving unemployment benefits and lied to the government about it. Prosecutors said evidence confirmed that Harrell as the active and successful founder and CEO of the Veterans Club could maintain substantially gainful employment, leaving him ineligible for the benefits he received between 2019 and 2023. So what they're probably taking here is the difference between what his regular rating is and what the 100% rating is. Because if you remember, TDIU, you can qualify it typically if you're between 60 to 90% rating. So for example, they said he has PTSD. Maybe he's at 70%. That is a qualifier, being at 70% to apply for TDIU. Then let's say he's granted for it. So he's got a 70% rating, and they're looking at probably the difference between the 70% rating and the 100% over those years. And that's how they're coming up with the amount that he was overpaid. Moving on. On Monday, the judge mentioned more than 50 letters of support for Harrell that he received from people who knew him. The courtroom was packed with supporters of Harrell as well. Harrell is required to pay restitution. The judge has not decided on the amount of restitution in the case. He is scheduled to report to prison on January 28, 2025. Harrell is still currently the CEO of Veterans Club. He said the board will discuss the future leadership of the nonprofit in the coming days. It will not impact it in a negative way. All it will do is make me want to do it that much more, Harrell said. We're going to expand our advocacy. There's one more thing to advocate for now, one more thing to stand up for and bring awareness to. We're going to continue to do that at a high level. Harrell is scheduled to meet with his attorneys on Tuesday to discuss an appeal. And that's where it ends off. And again, here's the big thing, right? The main aspect of TDIU, for those that don't know, and if you're thinking about or if you are already receiving TDIU, Total Disability Individual Unemployability, is that you have a service-connected condition or service-connected conditions that are inhibiting your ability to maintain substantially gainful employment, full-time work that pays a normal wage, right? It does state very clearly that odd jobs do not count. Marginal employment does not count. Now, they don't really talk about what that dollar figure is. And so the question now becomes, okay, well, how much can you earn? Because on the VA's website, it does not actually say a dollar figure, and it does not drive you to any other website to give you a dollar figure like VA pension does. VA pension sets up what they call the maximum allowable pension rates, and they have that adjusted every year, so it's very clear to understand. With VA benefits for TDIU, Total Disability Individual Unemployability, it's just a mouthful. They don't really spell it out. So you should contact an accredited representative or the VA directly and ask them, how much can I earn per year on Total Disability Individual Unemployability? Because it's not really clear, and it does say that I can earn some income. Marginal income is okay. And how do you define marginal income? Do you define it by hours? Or do you define it by money? Or is it a combination of that? Maybe I am a genius, not me, the fictitious person. Maybe this person is a genius, right? But their disabilities bar them from working 40 hours a week, but they can do 10 hours or 5, but they're super smart at whatever they do, and they command a lot of cash. Or what if you wrote a bestseller book over the course of 10 years, right? There's so many weird, nuancy things that I'm not quite sure how to look at it. So you need to contact the VA, ask them what it looks like, ask them real questions, and see what they say. I'll be reaching out and see if I could find out. And I also think that, asking your congressional representative these questions, right? Hey, can you tell me what is the maximum that I can earn? What does the VA consider marginal employment? What is substantially gainful employment? And if you can define that, well, then tell me what marginal employment is. Because if you tell me that substantially gainful employment is anything above minimum wage, right? Because just because there's jobs out there that pay more doesn't necessarily mean you can get one. So is it based on hours? I'm working full time. So if I can work full time, is that substantially gainfully employed? Okay. Well, then if I work part-time, then is that marginal? And if I work part-time, but I'm really smart and I do something that's very niche and I get paid $200,000 for 5 hours a week, but I get paid $200,000 for the year, that means I could probably make $1 million a year if I worked full-time. So tell me where I'm at. Explain to me where we fall in this so I can be clear, because I'm not quite sure, right? These are questions that we should have answered. We shouldn't have to guess and tiptoe around. I'm not trying to say anything about this guy's situation. I don't know, right? Maybe he paid himself $200,000 a year. Maybe he's the CEO of this nonprofit, like it says, and maybe he paid himself $200,000 a year, and maybe he did work 60 hours a week. Well, then that's clearly not okay for TDIU. So with that, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so very much. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.